Good day everyone. We will going to present to you the first three sections of the Bill of Rights. But first, we were going to define what is Bill of Rights. What is Bill of Rights? It is sometimes called a Declaration of Rights or a Charter of Rights. It is a set of fundamental rights granted to every citizen of a country. It serves as a protection against infringement from public officials and private citizens. Article 3 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution is the Bill of Rights. It establishes the relationship of the individual to the state and defines the rights of the individual by limiting the lawful power of the state.
Section 1. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. According to Article 3, Section 1 of the Philippine Constitution, guarantees that everyone has the right to a fair legal process. It means that the government cannot take away someone's life, liberty, or property without following proper legal procedures. This provision guarantees fairness, requiring notice of charges, a fair hearing, and the chance for individual to present their side of the story. It can also help protect people from unjust decision and upholds their rights in our country.
Due process of law is application by the state of all legal rules and principles pertaining to a case, so all legal rights that are owed to a person are respected. Due process of law means that when the state is dealing with a case or situation involving a person, they must follow all the legal rules and principles to make sure that the person's rights are respected. This includes giving the person fair treatment, notifying them about the case, and giving them a chance to defend themselves.
Right to life, it means that every individual has the right to live and be protected from any unjustified deprivation of life. This includes protection from unlawful killings, whether by the government or by private individuals. For example, if a person is wrongfully accused of a crime and sentenced to death without proper legal procedures, it would be a violation of the right to life.
Right to liberty. It means that every person has the freedom to live their life without unnecessary government or individual interference but within limitations. It means that every person has the freedom to act, speak, and move without unjust restrictions or interference from others. For example, you have the freedom to make choices and pursue goals without hindrance. However, this right can be limited if someone commits a crime to ensure public safety and uphold the law. Right to property. It means that individuals have the right to own and enjoy their possessions as long as it does not exceed the limits set by the law. Imagine, you own a piece of land. You have the right to use and enjoy it, but you must also follow laws and regulations. For instance, you may need to comply with zoning rules, protect the environment, and adhere to building codes. These restrictions ensure responsible and lawful use of the property, striking a balance between individual rights and the well-being of society.
Section 2. The right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purpose shall be inviolable, and search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause, to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath of affirmation of the complainant and the witness he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. This provision ensures that individuals have the right to be secure in their persons, belongings, residence, and documents, safeguarding them from unreasonable searches and seizures. It specifies that a search warrant or arrest warrant can only be issued by judge based on probable cause determined through a sworn examination.
What is probable cause? Probable cause refers to reasonable grounds based on factual circumstances that a crime has been committed and the person accused is likely responsible. It serves as the basis for law enforcement to conduct searches, make arrests, and obtain search warrants or arrest warrants. Probable cause means having enough evidence and facts to believe
that the person accused is involved in the commission of a crime. Unreasonable search and seizure. It is conducted by police without a valid search warrant and does not fall under an exception to the warrant requirement. This refers to a police action that occurs without a legally issued search warrant and does not qualify for any exceptions that might otherwise permit such actions without a warrant. It suggests a potential violation of individuals' rights against unwarranted searches and emphasizes the importance of adhering to legal procedures.
A valid search warrant or warrant of arrest must meet certain requirements. Number 1. It must be issued upon probable cause. It means there must be a reasonable belief that a crime has been committed or that evidence of a crime can be found. Number 2. The probable cause must be determined personally by the judge. It means the judge personally determines the existence of probable cause. It cannot be based solely on the opinion of law enforcers.
The judge must examine in writing and under oath or affirmation the complainant and the witnesses he or she may produce to determine the existence of probable cause. It means that the judge need to question the person who filed the complaint and any witnesses in writing and under oath to decide if there is enough evidence to support the complaint.
The warrant must particularly describe the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The warrant needs to describe the specific place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized to make sure officers only search where they're supposed to, seizing only what's necessary. It helps protect people's privacy and rights. When is an arrest without warrant lawful? In flagrante delicto, arrest caught in the act. It means that if an officer catches a person in the act committing an offense or caught red-handed, the officer can arrest them on the spot. Hot pursuit arrest. Hot pursuit arrest allows the police to chase and apprehend a suspect fleeing a crime scene without needing a warrant. For example, if someone commits a robbery and tries to escape, the police can pursue and arrest him immediately without a warrant. Arrest of escaped prisoners. It means that if someone runs away from the jail or avoid their punishment, the police can catch them without needing permissions and they can be arrested without warrants.
Lawful arrests during checkpoints. While routine inspections during checkpoints don't justify a warrantless arrest, if during the course of the checkpoint's inspection there's visible evidence of the law, like illegal possession of firearms or prohibited drugs, a warrantless arrest may be made.
Arrest of a person who voluntarily surrendered. A person who voluntarily surrendered and confessed to committing a crime before any law enforcement personnel or government functional can be taken into custody without a warrant.
Instances when search and seizure may be made without warrant. Number 1. There is consent or waiver. For example, if a person is operating a car and the police pull them over to question if they can look inside the individual trunk and then the individual respond yes and open the trunk, then their action will be deemed a valid consensual search. Number 2. Search is incident to a lawful arrest. A person lawfully arrested may be searched for dangerous weapon or anything which may have been used or constitute proof in the commission of an offense without a search warrant. Number 3. When forfeited goods are being transported by powerful ship or other automobiles. For example, failing to make a car payment to a bank can result in the forfeiture of your car, the act of losing or surrendering something as a penalty for a mistake or fault or failure to perform.
Where, without a search, the possession of article prohibited by law is disclosed to plain view or is open to eye and hand. For example, someone is driving with an open container of alcohol in their car. The officer can see the liquor and stop the driver without having to get a warrant. As an incident of inspection, supervision, and regulation of the exercise of the police power, such as inspection of restaurants by health officer, of factories by labor inspectors, etc., The same thing may be said of inspection of books of accounts by revenue examiners. For example, residential and commercial zoning determines what residential properties and which ones can be used for commercial purposes. Routinary searches, usually made at the border or at ports of entry in the interest of national security and for the proper enforcement of customs and immigration laws. For example, motor vehicles may be searched at the border, even to the extent of removing, disassembling, and reassembling of the fuel tanks.
The privacy of communication and correspondence shall be inviolable except upon lawful order of the court, or when public safety or order requires otherwise as prescribed by law. It is stated that the privacy of communication and correspondence is protected and cannot be violated except under certain circumstances. These circumstances include when a court issues a lawful order or when it is necessary for public safety or order as determined by the law.
Any evidence obtained in violation of this or the preceding sections shall be inadmissible for any purpose in any proceedings. The purpose of these provisions is to safeguard the privacy rights of individuals and ensure that any evidence obtained through illegal or unauthorized means is not inadmissible in court. It aims to maintain the integrity of legal system and protect individuals' rights to privacy in their communications and correspondence.